Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Monday the 19th of September. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. We will start by taking a summarised look at the mean surface temperatures across Europe. Between days 11 and 15, temperatures are forecast to be generally very near to climate averages, though perhaps just trending 1 or 2 degrees above climate norms across most areas of Europe. Between days 6 and 10, the latest forecast models signal temperatures to be generally trending above climate averages. The majority of Europe is forecast to have temperatures at least 2 or 3 degrees above climate norms, particularly across some central and also western areas of Europe. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, temperatures are forecast to be generally very near to climate averages once again. They're perhaps just trending slightly above by 1 or 2 degrees, though potentially more significantly above climate norms across some far western and southwestern areas of Europe, including Iberia, for example. And now taking a look at the United Kingdom in some closer detail. Between days 11 and 15, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be generally at least 2 or 3 degrees above climate norms. There is some model divergence with regards to just how high temperatures are likely to be above average, with some of the more recent GFS deterministic models signalling temperatures perhaps 6 or 7 degrees above a climate mean of 13. These are model outliers, and I expect temperatures to be generally around 2 or 3 degrees above climate averages towards the end of September and into the opening few days of October. The following weather chart for Thursday the 29th of September helps to illustrate why temperatures are likely to be generally trending above climate averages as we move towards the opening few days of October. A forecasted area of high pressure to the south of the UK is forecast to combine with low pressure to the north and northwest to produce a mild, if not very mild, southwesterly air mass across the United Kingdom, and hence generally signalling above climate average temperatures. And between days 6 and 10, as we move towards and beyond the weekend of the 24th and 25th of September, confidence levels are medium or medium to high, given good model agreement and consistency from the end of last week, for temperatures to be generally near or trending 1 or 2 degrees above a climate mean of around 13 or 14 degrees Celsius. The majority of the available forecast models within the highlighted red circle signal temperatures to be generally around 1 or 2 degrees above climate norms. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, confidence levels are high, given good model agreement, for temperatures to be generally within 1 degrees of climate norms. This has been a consistent signal for a good number of days, and over the coming week, temperatures are likely to be very near to climate norms across the majority of the United Kingdom. And now taking a look at the expected European temperatures in closer detail. Between days 11 and 15, confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high at best, to suggest that temperatures are likely to be generally near or trending 1 to 2 degrees above climate norms. The majority of the available forecast models within the West European map view signal temperatures to be at least 1 or 2 degrees above climate norms. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate the situation, and the majority of the available forecast models are signalling temperatures to be above climate averages as we move towards the end of September and into early October. The majority of the available forecast models have temperatures at least 2 if not 3 degrees above a climate mean of around 16 or 17 degrees Celsius, and as a result temperatures are likely to be quite warm for the end of September and early October across the majority of Western Europe in particular. Between days 6 and 10, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models signal temperatures across the majority of West Europe to be at least 2 or 3 degrees above climate averages in what is forecast to be a particularly warm spell of weather as we move towards the latter half of September. The majority of the available forecast models have temperatures at least 2 or 3 degrees above climate norms. The latest Benelux model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation, and as you can see, as we move towards and beyond the weekend of the 24th and 25th of September, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be generally trending above climate averages by at least 2 or 3 degrees. This trend becomes more evident as we move towards the end of the 6 to 10 day period. And finally, within the short term, confidence levels are high, given good model agreement and consistency, for temperatures across the majority of Europe to generally be within 1 or 2 degrees of climate averages. However, some far western areas of Europe, including Iberia for example, may have temperatures trending 2 or 3 degrees above climate norms. And in summary, overall, temperatures across the majority of central and western areas of Europe are forecast to generally rise and become at least 3 or 4 degrees above climate norms as we move towards the end of September and into early October. And now taking a look at the expected precipitation totals across Scandinavia. And the trend from the end of last week continues today, and that is for the majority of Scandinavia to have precipitation totals trending above climate averages throughout the remainder of September and also into early October. Some southern and western areas of Norway in particular may have precipitation totals of at least 125 to 150 millimetres within the next 7 to 14 days, which is comfortably 300% of normal as very unsettled conditions dominate the weather. Some southern regions of Finland may well have precipitation totals near to climate averages, but overall, the next 7 to 14 days are forecast to be particularly wet across the majority of Scandinavia. And finally, taking a look at global weather alerts which highlight significant deviations from normal. And there is a trend within the latest forecast models for many central and particularly western areas of the United States over the next 7 to 14 days to have well below average precipitation totals. The majority of central and particularly western regions, including California for example, may well have little or no measurable rainfall within the next 2 weeks in what is forecast to be a particularly dry period of weather across many western regions of the United States. Also, the trend from last week continues this week, and that is particularly over the next 7 to 10 days. The majority of Australia is forecast to be particularly dry, with little or no measurable rainfall expected across the majority of the country, with less than 25% of normal rainfall totals. And finally, latest forecast models signal temperatures to be at least 2 to 4 degrees, if not 6 degrees below climate averages across many southern areas of Brazil over the next 7 to 10 days, with mean surface temperatures of around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.